एडिसन हु इन्वेंटेड द बल्ब, आई कैन एक्सेप्ट हिम एज ए गॉड। जिसने बल्ब का आविष्कार किया एडिसन, उसे भगवान मानते हैं। रात को भी दिन बना दिया, हम पढ़ सकते हैं, चल सकते हैं, कुछ कर सकते हैं। बट फॉर दोज हु इन्वेंटेड AK-47 राइफल्स, हाइड्रोजन बम, न्यूट्रोजन बम, स्लीपर्स बम, they should not be given status as a scientist. The science is not to create the trouble for the disaster. Science is for the sake the life of human. आज क्या हो रहा है? How much amount we are going to invest on that? If you are the scientist, do the research, find out the cheapest cost of the medicine for the cancer patient. But we are run away. We are away from the such kind of principles. Gandhi said long back in 1925. 1925. Third, commerce without morality. We know the Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Coca-Cola and Pepsi is not Chyawanprash. ठीक है, देखा है? स्वास्थ्य बढ़ा किसी का? कोई रिपोर्ट आई है क्या? पेप्सी कोको कोला को पीने के बाद में किसी का बढ़ा है? सबसे अधिक पानी जो ग्राउंड वाटर उसे खींचती है। जहां जहां इस तरह के प्लांट लगे हैं, 8 किलोमीटर की दूरी में पौधे नहीं पनप पा रहे हैं। बनारस में उसका 2 प्लांट लगे हुए हैं। हमने 4 लाख लोगों को लेकर आंदोलन किया वहां कि नहीं, हमें नहीं चाहिए। और कारपोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के नाम पर हम कुछ पैसा दे करके उन्हें बंधक बना देंगे और उनके मूल राइट्स वंचित कर देंगे। वी कैन नॉट टॉलरेट। हु विल रेज द हैंड्स? सोशल वर्क प्रोफेशनल। व्हाई? We are the advocate of the marginalized section. We are the advocate of the depressed section. We are marginalized people of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. Who will raise the hands? We have to raise the hands. We have to put pressure over the government to change the policies. It to be suited to the poorest of the poor of the nation. For this purpose, we are having the Congress here. This is commerce without morality. पता है आपको? एक एग्रेसिव मार्केटिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट आया है। विज्ञापन देखा है? आमिर खान 7वें मंजिल से कूदता है, पेप्सी की बोतल लेकर के बिल्कुल वैसे खड़ा हो जाता है, कोई धक्का नहीं लगता, हड्डी को कोई प्रभाव है। इतनी ताकत अगर है तो हिंदुस्तान के सैनिकों को तमाम भोजन देने की क्या जरूरत है? सबको कोको कोला पिला दो, बॉर्डर पे भेज दो। और यही नहीं है, आने वाले दिनों में जिस तरह से एग्रेसिव मार्केटिंग हमारी आ रही है, चिंता का विषय है। हनुमान जी विज्ञापन आएगा, हनुमान जी जब पेप्सी का एक पैक लगाएंगे तो संजीवनी बूटी का पहाड़ उठाएंगे। और माँ दुर्गा राष्ट्रों का विध्वंस तभी करेंगे जब कोको कोला पी लेंगे। अगर इस तरह के विज्ञापन एग्रेसिव मार्केटिंग करके कल्चर जो वैल्यूज नेशन की समाप्त करेंगे, दिस इज नॉट सिम्टम ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द नेशन। वी हैव टू बी वेरी अलर्ट। प्रेजर विदाउट कॉन्सेंस, अंतःक्षेत्र और भोग। हमें गांधी ने बिल्कुल क्लैरिफाई किया व्हाट इज नीड एंड व्हाट इज ग्रेट। आवर इंटायर फिलोसफर ऑफ द नेशन, द सिक्स्थ, हम 9 दार्शनिक हमारे हिंदुस्तान में है। दर्शन शास्त्र कोई पढ़ने वाला विद्यार्थी होगा, आचार्य होगा, जानता होगा। 6 आस्तिक दर्शन, 3 नास्तिक दर्शन है और 6 आस्तिक दर्शन एकमात्र 4 बात को छोड़ करके शेष 8 इंद्रिय निग्रह की बात करते हैं। इंद्रियों पर नियंत्रण लगाइए, मिनिमाइज वांट, आवश्यकता का सीमितीकरण करिए, क्योंकि संसाधन बहुत दिन नहीं चलेंगे। गांधी एडवोकेटेड फॉर द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, द टर्म ही डिड नॉट यूज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, बट गांधी का एक स्टेटमेंट है, यू कैन पेन डाउन इट, नेचर हैज एनफ टू फुलफिल द नीड बट नॉट ए सिंगल थिंग टू फुलफिल द ग्रीड। हमारे प्रकृति में इतने प्रचुर मात्रा में संसाधन है कि हम उनकी आवश्यकता की पूर्ति कर सके, लेकिन तृष्णा के लिए कोई जगह नहीं। बाल गोपाल साहब ने अपने पहले डेलिब्रेशन में कहा, व्हाई दिस काइंड ऑफ हैबिट वी आर डेवलपिंग। एक कार नहीं, 2 कार चाहिए, बेटी को कार चाहिए, बेटे को कार चाहिए, बहू को कार चाहिए। अगर इस तरह का आप तृष्णा का वातावरण पैदा करेंगे आप, तो 3 आदमियों के मकान के लिए हिंदुस्तान के 6 शहरों में मकान बन जाए, 3 आदमियों को रहने के लिए अन्य मकान बंद हो और हिंदुस्तान के आम आदमी को रहने की आवश्यकता हो, चिंता का विषय होगा। इसलिए मिनिमाइजेशन ऑफ वन, बिहेवियरल चेंज, एटीट्यूड चेंज के लिए हमें लाना पड़ेगा। मैं अंतिम बात और जो 4 पॉइंट है, 3 पॉइंट उधर नहीं जाना चाहता हूं। मैं बेसिक पॉइंट पर आना चाहता हूं क्योंकि समय बहुत कम है। 4 और भी मैंने 3 पर फोकस किया और कहा वर्शिप विदाउट सैक्रिफाइस, वर्शिप विदाउट सैक्रिफाइस। अरे क्रिश्चियनिटी कहती है टू सर्व द ह्यूमैनिटी, टू सर्व द गॉड, मानवता की सेवा ईश्वर की सेवा है। और हमारा शास्त्र भी कहता अष्टादश पुराणेषु व्यासस्य वचनद्वयम् परोपकाराय पुण्याय पापाय परपीडनम्। किसी व्यक्ति की करुणा के दया के साथ सेवा करने का जो पुण्य है वो बड़ा पुण्य है और किसी को कष्ट पहुंचाने से बड़ा पाप नहीं है। हम संस्कृत में श्लोक पढ़ाते हैं, अपने जीवन में फॉलो नहीं करते। देयर इज नीड टू फॉलो इट। अगर हिंदुस्तान के इतने लोग, आपने देखा होगा, अब बिल गेट्स हिंदुस्तान के उद्योगपतियों से कह रहे हैं भाई अपना पैसा कुछ लगाओ गरीबों पर। अरे मालवीय जी का नाम सुना है जिन्होंने बीएचयू स्थापित किया? हिंदुस्तान के बड़े आचार्य थे, वो बड़े आचार्य थे, सारे संस्कृत के श्लोक को जानते थे, वेदों को पढ़ा था, विष्णु को पढ़ा था, बहुत अच्छे अंग्रेजी के जानकार थे। उनसे पूछा किसी ने जब बीएचयू की स्थापना की, व्हाट इज गोल ऑफ योर लाइफ? उन्होंने कहा देखिए, अगर जानना चाहते हैं तो बनारस हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय के आइडेंटिटी कार्ड पर हर विद्यार्थी को लिखा हुआ मिलता है, मालवीय जी का मिशन, न तो हम कामे राज्यम न स्वर्गम न च पुनर्भवम। मुझे राजपुरुष नहीं बनना है, मुझे एमएलए एमपी और राज्यपाल मत बनाना, राष्ट्रपति नहीं बनना, मुझे मेरी चाहती नहीं है। न तो हम कामे राज्य, मुझे राज्य नहीं चाहिए, न स्वर्गम, मुझे स्वर्ग भी नहीं चाहिए। हर आदमी स्वर्ग ही चाहता है मरने के बाद, यहाँ भी अच्छा रहे, मरने के बाद भी पुष्पक विमान आए, हलवा पूरी वहाँ भी नहीं, कायदे से कॉन्फ्रेंस चलता रहे, खाना खाते रहे, ठीक है, का ये भी नहीं चाहिए। और मैं पुनर्भवम, मैं पुनः मनुष्य का जीवन नहीं चाहता हूँ। तब क्या चाहते हैं? कामे दुख तप्ता नाम प्राणी नाम आर्तनाशनम, जो दुखी प्राणी है, परेशानी में है, संकट में है, उनके संकट को दूर करने में कुछ सेवा कर सकूं, यही मेरे जीवन का लक्ष्य है। दिस इज द क्रिश्चियन न्यूज प्रोपोगेटेड बाय मालवीय जी, गांधी जी। और यही कारण है हिंदुस्तान के तमाम जब ऋषियों ने बताया ब्रह्म सत्यम जगत मिथ्या वेदांत दर्शन में कि ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या है, तो उसका काउंटर किया, विरोध नहीं किया। कहा कैसे हो सकता? तो नब्बे वेदांती गांधी हुए, रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर हुए, दयानंद सरस्वती हुए, विवेकानंद हुए। कहा नहीं, ब्रह्म सत्यम जगत सत्यम च। अगर ब्रह्म सत्य है तो उसकी रचना ये राष्ट्र है, सृष्टि है, गलत कैसे हो जाएगी? गलत का आभास हो रहा है तो उसको स्वर्ग में परिवर्तित करने की जरूरत है। माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, आई सम अप माय deliberations. I know the time and importance of time. We have to move forward very soon for the voluntary session. I appeal to you all. Yesterday, under the dynamic leadership of the Professor Suresh Pathare, in the 2 days intercourse, dialogue, discourse, we reached to the conclusion, and green सोशल वर्क हमने जो किया उसका एक पेज बनाया है। कल उसकी प्रस्तुति हुई ओपन बॉडी में रात को 7:30 बजे, लोगों ने पढ़ा और उस ग्रीन प्लेस को जो है हम हिंदुस्तान की निवेदन करते हैं पठारी साहब से। एक बहुत अच्छी बात जो चर्चा हुई, हम एक प्रस्ताव तो पारित कर लेते हैं, अहमदनगर का प्रस्ताव। दिस इज हिस्टोरिकल प्लेस वेयर द 12 टॉप इंडियन लीडर्स वर इन जेल फॉर 2 years फ्रॉम 1942 to 45। भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन में 12 नेता यहाँ अहमदनगर किले में जेल में थे, और आज उस ऐतिहासिक परिसर में, उस ऐतिहासिक साल में ये अगर रेजोल्यूशन पास किया है, इट इज ड्यूटी ऑफ द सेक्रेटरीट ऑफ द नर्सरी दैट दिस प्लेसेस आर ग्रीन। सो हमारा प्लेस है, इट शुड बी इन हैंड ऑफ ऑल। Every year we have 480 universities where we are running the social work curriculum. Every year 46,000 students prefer join the social work course. At least we have to start from ourselves. This place we have to implement first, then tell the others that you have to follow. With these words, I sum up my deliberations. Thank you very much for listening with patience. Thank you.
महान व्यक्ति अपने जाने के बाद भी जिंदा रहते हैं अपनी कृति में, अपनी सीख में। बड़े सुंदर तरीके से डॉक्टर द्विवेदी सर ने हमें प्रोफेसर सुरेंद्र सिंह की याद दिलाई। आपका गांधी जी की फिलॉसफी का जो प्रभाव है वो स्पष्ट रूप से दिखाई दिया। आपके बारे में वक्त की कमी की वजह से मैं ज़्यादा नहीं कहना चाहूँगा। द्विवेदी सर के बारे में एक शेर पढ़ना चाहूँगा कि पलक बता कहीं ऐसा शबाब देखा है, जमीन पे आफ्ताब देखा है। इससे ज़्यादा सर के बारे में कहना उचित नहीं होगा मेरे लिए। सर, मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आपने गांधीयन फिलॉसफी के माध्यम से हमें चरित्र निर्माण, ग्रीन सोशल वर्क और डेवलपमेंट की व्याख्या दी। आपने इन 4 मूल तत्वों के बारे में बताया। हम कोशिश करेंगे कि वो हमारे जीवन का हिस्सा बने। धन्यवाद सर। और अब मैं निमंत्रण देता हूँ प्रोफेसर अतुल सिंह जी को, who is going to speak on sustainable development through healthy and green campus initiatives and community engagement. Atul Singh sir.
Very warm good morning to one and all. We have been discussing, listening, watching about climate change, sustainable development for last 2 days. So it is very difficult for a speaker in the last plenary session because nothing is left to speak actually. But I will try my level best because we have listened, we have understood about various best practice model with regard to green social work as well as sustainable development, conservation and all. So as our respected chairperson has introduced about my topic, today this third plenary session of day 3 of this 10th Indian Social Work Congress, I will be speaking on sustainable development through healthy and green campus initiative and community engagement. Basically, what I am trying to convey through this deliberation is how we can convert the theoretical aspect into real life practice, because it is very important. We have been discussing for last more than 2 decades about sustainable development, about climate change, but in real sense, if we review, if we take feedback, the most important thing is, and we need to accept it, we are not converting into real practice. We are not achieving desirable result, right? So, if we look at this concept of sustainable development, yes, of course, has become a buzzword because we have to achieve many things, and especially after SDG goals. So, let's have a look, very quick, insight about the concept of sustainable development. We used this term first in 1980 actually. The World Conservation Study presented an International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. That was first initiative in this kind, and then this term became popular after 1987. And report entitled Our Common Future actually, and it is popularly known as Plan Commission report also, and that was the landmark. And then after World Conservation Union in 1991, it also defined sustainable development as improving the quality of human life while living with carrying capacity of supporting ecosystem. Now this is a very contradictory situation actually, and there is a very hairline difference. On the one hand, improving quality of life, and whenever we expect improving the quality of life, at the same time we are exploiting our nature. That is also there. So how we will develop that sense, how we will change our behavior, this is what is more important, I think. And our entire focus of this Congress is towards this only. So I will come to that point later. So and the push to sustainable development came in 1992 with well-known Earth Summit at Rio de Janeiro, and then after a series of UN-based conferences held, and then after another landmark was there at Johannesburg, South Africa. And very recent, the effort was by UN, and a document came titled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And we have decided that there are 17 goals and 169 targets to be achieved. And then after, we have been discussing about sustainable development, about climate change, and response to social work profession, and environmental issues as well. If you look at the situation with regard to what are the various dimensions of sustainable development. So I think 3 things are very important: ecology, economics and ethics. So how we will integrate, how we will use best, that is what is more important. And here I believe ethical concerns are very important, right? So we need to very carefully apply these things, ecology, economics and ethics into this. And I think many things we need to do on this front actually, especially with regard to ethics actually. Because how business ethics are applied, that is the million-dollar question for all of us. And what social work professional can do in this regard, that is a need of our to be discussed, to be addressed actually. And if we look at the present scenario of sustainable development in India, so the path of economic development and growth has been challenging. One, since environmental sustainability is a major challenge, and Government of India has explored 5 priority areas. And what are these priority areas? Land degradation, biodiversity loss, air pollution. And as far as air pollution is concerned, after Diwali and till 15th of November, you might have read newspaper, you know the condition of Delhi. I was there and I was also suffering. So therefore, so this air pollution with a special reference to vehicular pollution in the big cities actually, and management of fresh water resources and hazardous waste management with a special reference to municipal solid waste management. These 2 things are very important, management of fresh water actually. Still we are failed to provide fresh drinking water. People are forced in big cities to purchase, to buy, drinking waters. If you go and visit, Professor Balgopal sir is with us, and he knows very well. Many times we met in Delhi. The South Delhi area is a posh area of Delhi, and each and everyone is forced to purchase water for drinking in South Delhi. They cannot use tap water for drinking. Even RO system is also failed to purify it. So you can understand the reality. Still we are failed. And another thing is, waste management, or how we can have a distinction between wastewater and human waste actually. In India, unfortunately, we have the same supply chain actually. We discuss too much, but we don't want to understand. One thing is, one component is wastewater. That can be treated, that can be utilized. But if the supply chain of wastewater and human waste will go in the same way, how you can treat it? You cannot treat it. So this is a very fundamental thing, and we need to understand. Then, most important thing is, social dimension must be understood by our policymakers, academicians and practitioners. Without people participation, we cannot achieve desirable result. This is absolutely important, and unfortunately, I am sorry to say, we are failed on this front. Right from beginning, when that community development program was introduced, as we were discussing in an informal discussion. So people participation is key actually, and therefore we need to emphasize much upon. We are talking about human-centric development, people-centric development, but where are the people? They are victimized. We have to rethink about it. Okay, and therefore I advocate for community engagement in this regard, and recognizing the significance of community engagement. Even UGC under 12 5-year plan, they have introduced a program to set up Center for Fostering Social Responsibility and Community Engagement in universities actually, so that through university system we can initiate for community engagement actually. Many efforts have been made, and then after another program was introduced, that is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan also. Through Unnat Bharat Abhiyan it was and that was introduced then by Ministry of HRD, now it is called Ministry of Education actually. So through these efforts, it is believed that we will reach to the community, and we will engage community, and we will share knowledge in two-way process actually. right? So this community engagement may be considered as involvement of people in a community project, and that project may be related to green social work, that project may be related to environmental aspect actually. So that may be taken into consideration. Now, you know, what is more important for that community engagement? Social mobilization. Social mobilization or community mobilization is very much important actually. So we need to rethink about it. Now I am coming to the main and core theme of my presentation, that is Healthy and Green Campus Initiative. Why I am talking about Healthy and Green Campus Initiative? Because yesterday, as Professor R.P. Dwivedi was telling, we have launched this pledge, Go to Green. But how it will be implemented? How we will convert into real life practice? Therefore, and when this draft was prepared and shared just for consultation, I thought I should speak upon Green and Healthy Campus Initiative. Why campus only? Because you know, our youth are change agent. They have lot of potential, lot of energy. They can change. But you know, here again, we need to understand social workers are called change agent. But there is a difference between being change agent or being a logistical manager. So here also we have to redesign the whole thing, the practice. Yes, of course, right? So keeping in view this pledge, how this pledge, you know, taking oath is okay, fine. But how it will convert into real action, that is what is more important rather than taking pledge. Okay, so I will come to this point later. If we look at, so I have my own justification why I am talking about and emphasizing upon youth or Green Campus or Healthy Campus Initiative. Because as per University Grant Commission official record, there are total right now. Last year I have taken that, I think I have enough time. Sir, okay, let me finish. Okay, so 1072 universities, and out of which 460 state universities are there, 128 deemed universities are there, 54 central universities are there, and 430 private universities as on 25th November 2022. This is the recent data I have taken from their website. And according to All India Survey of Higher Education, that is the agency of Ministry of HRD or Ministry of Education, this data is from 2016 and 17. There are 40,026 colleges are there. Those are affiliated with 268 universities. So that means we have third largest network or system of higher education across the world. And as we all know, there is no doubt about it, all the youngsters are there. So we have a big pool of young persons here. So that initiative can be started from campus only. And not only this, if we look at, we will find it is not only, pool of young person at higher educational institution, but we are also getting a pool of intellectuals. Academicians are there, practitioners are there, right? So we can best utilize, because by 2030 we need to achieve our 17 goals and 169 target of sustainable development goals, right? So yes, of course, a few words. Okay, I think I have exhausted 20 minutes. Anyway, not an issue. I am completing it. Not an issue. And it is quite obvious, because earlier also we are already, engaged with some, we engaged with community through our initiative under extension program, NSS, and field work also at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So these are the justification. We can initiate any activity with regard to sustainable development, with regard to green social work or green initiative. So it is quite, and very recently Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, as I have mentioned earlier, also introduced. So the students, those are studying in the universities and colleges, can be engaged, and there are many activities as far as green and healthy campus initiative is concerned. So what we can do is, in everyday life, what we can do, use of electronics instead, paper. Earlier we are expecting that the student will submit assignment in a paper. Now we can collect it through online mode. So that can be, and we have best utilized during COVID-19, right? And adoption of reusable bags in practice. In many universities we are presenting bouquets and we use more plastics. So that can be changed or replaced. I have seen in Gujarat Vidyapit, they are giving Ang Vastram, and those are prepared by students in their laboratory. So that is also a good practice that can be taken into consideration. Very quickly, sir, I am completing. Let me finish actually, because it is with regard to young generation, and I think most of the audience belong to that segment only. Okay. Should I come to that point later? After this? Okay. So, and another point is, buy less whenever absolutely necessary. Normally we believe in surplus, so we should avoid it. We should buy whenever it is absolutely necessary. Walk or use cycle more actually. If you come to Delhi, you will find there are many points are there. You can hire cycle for 1 hour or 2 hours. Instead using bikes, so this is how we can ensure this Go Green initiative. You come and visit IIT Kanpur, you will find no student is allowed to use bike or car. They are only allowed to use bicycle, and whenever you will watch them, you will feel that there is an era of 60s, or 50, 60 students are going, and they are using cycle like that. So that is also a good thing that can be taken. How we can save energy, that is also prime concern. Many times we are using all the lights. If a single person is sitting, as somebody taken that example yesterday also, so that can also be taken into consideration. Then decrease meat consumption. We talk too much, but we are not able to change our practices. So decrease in meat consumption is also very important to go for Go Green Camp initiative. And then consumption and use of water smartly. How we can use water smartly, that is also prime concern. So there are many more things, and but I'm concluding my this deliberation. And at the end, I would like to say, in order to maintain overall health, well-being of people and resources for use of future generation, the student of various universities and colleges may be engaged, and after their preparation, and after converting them as an ambassador of Go Green initiative, we can initiate for community engagement at wider level in the society, and then after we can say that we can ensure this green social work or green initiative. With this, I have been told to talk about Professor R.V.S. Verma, who is happened to be my friend, philosopher, guide, teacher, and whatever I am today, just because of Professor R.V.S. Verma. If I would say, he was like a god figure as far as academics is concerned. My friend, my classmate, Professor Anup Bharti is sitting across. I think he will be agreed that we both, whatever today we have achieved, less or more, just because of Professor R.V.S. Verma. As many people say, I learned my first alphabet from my mother, so I can say whatever first word